Konnichiwa. Greetings. My name is Miyamoto Musashi. I'm what is known as a samurai in the 17th century Japan. I say the following without pride, only honesty. I was highly successful in the way of the sword. In single combat alone, I killed 62 opponents in as many battles. I will now initiate you in the way of water, Mizu. When you become a student of my dojo, I will train you to boldly cast your eyes beyond the surface level reflection that water can provide. And I will demand that you hold that unwavering gaze until you dare to embrace the full architecture of your being, where you come to hold your shadows as fiercely as your light, and your contradictions as intimately as your convictions. And in that courageous acceptance, you will shatter the chains that bind you and claim your freedom. The few among you who endure this successfully will emerge with a strength immune to the hands that would seek to disturb it. I've crossed many provinces and fought powerful men who wanted to take my name. It was water that showed me how to advance through the narrow cracks. That is why I embrace the teachings of water. Water reflects on the surface and simultaneously reveals its depth. Water can evaporate into thin air and just as easily take the form of an entire ocean. Water can also be hard and break every bone in your body. And yet, water can also be soft and nurture you when it's in a clawfoot tub and you are submerged in its warmth. It can even flow fast as the rapids and just as easily sit still patiently for eons in a pond. Such mastery. Only the immature mind is desperate for certainty and clings for the one form. Do not collapse into this trap. This is why I chose to remain a ronin, a lone warrior, never binding myself to a bushidan. To belong to a band of warriors or to command one of my own would have shaped me into a single form, fixed and predictable. I refused that narrowing. I chose instead to be my own man, unclaimed, uncontained, moving through the world formless and fluid, answering only to the discipline within me and the path I carved for myself. I knew so even after my first battle when I was only 13 years old, of which this is the story. A samurai who came through my village in the mountains invited anyone to challenge him. I took him up on this challenge, though my uncle tried to dissuade me and the experienced samurai from fighting. My uncle was convinced I was about to lose my life in this battle. I, on the other hand, was determined to prove my capacity. Once the battle started, I soon stabbed him between the eyes with my only weapon, a wooden sword. That first blow set him back, and I continued to attack him till he died. I don't share this story to boast or promote violence. It's merely to indicate my willingness to test my life force upon the world. It's my sincere devotion to apply my God-given attributes into reality with all my might. In my younger years, I did so by use of the sword. In my olden days, by letting my pen express my inner reality on paper. This is how I created inner peace, by submerging myself into my passions. This here is the book of water. Get your feet wet and step into reality. Learn about emotions, including the need to learn how to generate a passion for doing the hard things. And when I say the mind should be like water, I do not mean calm for its own sake. Calm without awareness is sleep. Water is awake. It reflects things as they are, not as it wishes them to be. When the surface is disturbed, the reflection breaks. When the mind is disturbed, it fails to provide you with the clarity of perspective. Anger clouds it. Fear narrows it. Pride hardens it. Train with me and you'll master your emotions. The most powerful weapon I could ever forge you. Water has no form, yet it forms all things. Like the muscles in your body are 75% water, And the core strength of your biceps, triceps, and six packs are drawn up from its ability to be pliable and fluid. The greater the muscle, the more water they hold, and the more extreme its ability to go from flexible to hard and back to flexible again, like water. Water is also the eye of the mind. It reflects without clinging. In this, timing, rhythm, and balance arise naturally. Action does not come from thinking ahead, but from presence alone. It must act as a current, not as a monument. And in battle, this means the body and mind must not decide too early. Do not wait in one guard, nor pursue one cut. Enter as water enters. Flow through the boundaries your enemy is trying to set for you. If the enemy advances, you receive and turn him. If he hesitates, you fill the space. When his intent hardens, you strike. Not from anger or ambition, but from necessity. See clearly, move immediately, and leave no trace of your effort. This is Hei Ho no Mizu. Strategy as water. Mastery is not domination of the opponent, but perfect movement within the moment. There is a harsh and undeniable truth about survival. When you walk through the forest with a friend and cross paths with a towering Usuri brown bear, 8 feet tall, 1,000 pounds of muscle and sharp claws. Facing this calamity, you do not need to outrun the bear. You only need to outpace your companion. Yes, the laws of the wild are at its least gentle when you face a bear of this size, including his raw and unstoppable power. Battle is no different. You never fight death, the Grim Reaper, Shinigami-sama, or La Muerte to survive. He still is and will remain the undefeated. And the sword in your hand is not there to defend your life, but to help you expose the weak spots in your enemy's armor and present these weaknesses to death on a silver platter. In my dojo, I will teach you that fighting is a meditation of movements that, if done right, will expose the mortality of your opponent. Only then, greedy death will take what he is owed in a heartbeat. I fought many men, and I was able to witness in these battles moments where I was winning and moments where I was losing. But here's what made me always win in the end. My ability to flow and adjust even under great stress. I've lived long enough to know that techniques vanish, bodies fail, and names are forgotten. What remains is the way. Do not try to dominate the world, move with it. The one who flows remains untouchable, for he cannot be grasped. This is not weakness, but chi, energy, life force made visible, clear intelligence in motion. Water, by design, always moves forward. It does not resist. It finds a way, an answer, or a solution. In chemistry, a solution is formed when a solid, like salt, dissolves into water, becoming fluid, able to move instead of remaining rigid and stagnant. Strength is not in hardness alone. True power lies in the ability to dissolve, move, and to adopt. In my dojo, you do not merely wield the blade, you absorb it. This iron becomes part of your bloodstream. You do not carry the sword, you become its living current. You become flow state and action, the sacred union of warrior and weapon. The sword has always been the number one metaphor for wisdom. Every great fighter I have faced was more than a savage with steel. These great samurai possessed razor-sharp minds, disciplined, perceptive, and capable of forging solutions where others saw only walls. Creator is the alchemist blacksmith that gave you the blade, but you need to learn to sharpen it. Become fluid, sharp, and not distracted with being right. Solution, state, mindset. Water. My name is Miyamoto Musashi, and I'm here to teach you how to become a warrior who never gets defeated.